Hey, you know, the biggest threat to your career in private school is not a bad review or a difficult parent. It's a profound loneliness and being the only one in the room. So, most people think they need another degree or another framework. What they are actually missing is strategy, because strategy without a safe harbor can lead to burnout. So, I've been that person, and I've watched brilliant black leaders get stalled for this exact reason. So I built the room. I built it myself. So today I'm going to show you why a community is your most powerful strategic asset. And I say that while I'm looking at my notes because I think about how did I survive, right? I needed a community. During COVID, oftentimes, one of the things that was missing while we were locked in our homes was a lack of community. And the irony about the COVID time, and back in 2020, was when we all started to jump on Zoom and find community with one another. While many people struggled during that time, and rest in peace to those who passed away during COVID from that terrible pandemic, there was something that was also birthed, especially in me. I learned to find community expanded across the world through Zoom, through a virtual space. And some of my friends that I met during COVID, I'm still friends with today, and I'm inviting them to join me in the Our Own Lane community. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about some of the experiences that I've had working in private schools when I was working in there full time. And then I'm going to invite you into my new community. So what it actually costs you to show up every day, that invisible tax. The code switching, right? Sometimes it works, sometimes I'm not an extremist. I'm not one to say, this is something that's exclusive to Black professionals working in private schools. I'm saying that I am pointing at you and building something specifically for you so that you'll have a place where your voice will be heard and amplified. You will be the center, being Black and professional and in private schools will be the center of our conversations. Okay. You won't be the designated representative for the whole entire race in every meeting that we're in, because you will have other folks who look like you, who may have come from a different background than you. Just because we all are Black does not mean we have the same story, right? And then we'll talk about the exhaustion. But one thing about me, I am a positive person. I'm that person that the glass is always going to be half full, not half empty. So we're going to have some fun, and we're going to speak out loud some of the challenges that you may be facing being in your schools. And we're going to build a structure from starting in August of 2026, and we'll meet monthly, at least once a month, and we'll talk about the challenges that you are experiencing, and then we're going to brainstorm. We're going to be like a think tank of our own, right? So whether you are at a school in Alaska by yourself, I don't know of anybody in Alaska, but I know people up in Maine, and that could feel isolating. I worked for 4 years at a school in Sheffield, Massachusetts. I love the school, but I would have to drive 2.5 hours to get my hair products and those kinds of things specifically that I was looking for. So these schools, although they were not built with me in mind, we work there. And because we work there, we want to, this is, Our Own Lane is a community that is designed to help you thrive in these communities, right? So in 2003, I attended a People of Color conference for the first time. And when I tell you, I had no idea what to expect. A friend had told me about the conference. My school had asked me to lead their diversity work, and I was like, no, thank you. Why would you ask me to do it? And then I heard about the People of Color Conference. I heard that it was in Hawaii that year. And I thought, well, if they are serious, if the school is serious about supporting me, then they will send me to this conference, which was a place where especially people who are doing diversity work at their schools were sent. The first time I sat in an affinity space with all Black people, I'm not exaggerating when I tell you that I cried through. I remember most specifically, I can see Karen Washington, who used to be at Morristown Friends School in Morristown, New Jersey. And she was a few years ahead of me professionally. But she was so kind. Her face was kind, and she just told her story, and I just didn't feel alone. And that's where, if you want to say, I birthed the idea of, I wanted to be in those types of spaces more regularly. So fast forward to 2026, here we are. And I just felt so seen, and those women welcomed me into the space, and it helped me to go back to my school and to look at others who might also be feeling this feeling of isolation and not feeling like they were at home. And in my particular case, I was working in a high school that had international students. So I zeroed in on them immediately. It was because I didn't have like a pool of Black adults that I could speak with. But the students, I understood, I felt a little bit about what they must have been feeling like, even though, you know, they're high school age and away from their parents. I was hired to work in this place to support them, and I was determined to support them. I was just committed to it. Okay, so I built the room where we will have these conversations. And the first part of the Our Own Lane, the way you can get in, is called the on-ramp. My glasses are crooked. Our Own Lane is the name of the community, and the on-ramp is the free entry door, if you will. You come into the on-ramp, is the free community for Black professionals in private schools. You can go to ourownlanecommunity.com, and I'm going to have, of course, a link in the description of this video. So back to frameworks, leadership books, DEI, trainings, assume a level playing field. And you're not on one, right? I can say this, though. Since probably since 2020, there have been more books written about the subject of inclusion and ways, just naming and calling out the different ways that people can feel like they don't belong in spaces. So while I'm thinking about and talking about my community, I know that over the past 5 years, we've had some growth. And then in the past 2 years, we've had some pushback and some pullback, right? So I'm not naive. I don't have my head in the sand. I know we are up against some challenges, but you know that the political and the cultural dynamics specific to private school spaces and specific to being a Black person need to be addressed and looked at and overcome and redesigned and redeveloped and reframed and remixed, if you will. For those that don't know me, I am a child of the hip-hop generation. Hip-hop was born since I've been born, right? I feel like my parents, when they were living through the era of rock and roll and Elvis shaking his hips, I grew up hearing, you know, the music coming out of New York and you know, don't push me because I'm close to the edge and I'm trying not to lose my head. It's like a jungle sometimes. It makes you wonder how I keep from going under. We ain't going under. We're not going anywhere. We are going to be successful. We are going to thrive. And we're going to be there for our students because they need us. They need you to be strong. They need you to be there for them. And that's why you got into education in the first place, right? So that you can be the support for them, teach them, and be role models for the younger generation. So the room of our own. So not just a strategy. We're going to be speaking the same language a lot of times, right? So think about the school community, SKOOL community that you will get invited into when you join the on-ramp, okay? That is our dedicated space. It's not a conference once a year or a Facebook group. It's a place that will be there. It's private. It's ad-free. It's away from public social media noise, okay? It's built specifically for the adults that are doing this work in private schools, not for students. And the room is already coming alive. I've got 19 people in there already who have been invited to join, and the conversations are started. I actually had someone today engage with me in the school community. Thanks, sis. I appreciate you. If you're the other 18 people, I'm going to send you another invitation. Be like, come on, come into the playground. We're ready. Let's come and have some fun. Okay, so the on-ramp is our space in the school community. As I said, it's free. It's going to be open year-round. Conversations will be designed with you in mind. I'm not leading the conversations. You're going to come in, introduce yourselves, and you know how we do. Like if you've ever gone to the People of Color Conference, all it takes is for us to be in a room together. And it's similar to, there's an app that I use called Marco Polo, where I can make a video and post it, and then my kids respond whenever they get an opportunity. The school community, you'll post whatever you want to post, and whoever wants to engage with you, they'll come in and they'll respond to you over time. I'm going to be in the community every day checking. I get a notification when somebody has posted, and I'm going to get in there. And my business coach has been telling me to spend at least 15 minutes a day in that school community. So there's no telling what I'm liable to get in there and talk about a book I'm reading or whatever. What am I reading now? The book by, oh my gosh. The book I'm reading now is by Kennedy Ryan. It's called Score, because it kept popping up in my Facebook feed. So not have anything to do with education. It's just a fun read. It's interesting that I like Kennedy Ryan. She's a complex kind of author, but yeah, so ain't no telling what I'm going to put in the school community. And there will be business things, like if I come across a headhunter or something like that that's got some jobs, I might post that in there. Whatever we decide is important for us to know as you all, as Black professionals working in private schools. If you got something that you've read recently and you're like, hey, y'all should read this, or an article or anything like that, that's what the on-ramp will have. It'll have those things available. And then there are 2 other levels, paid levels, that we will dig deeper into community and those types of things in those 2 levels. And I'm going to make a different video about them. Right now, this is about the on-ramp, free, year-round, yours. You can stop figuring things out alone in this space because you'll have community. Like I said, there are 19 of us now. You were never supposed to build this career by yourself. I was thinking, my daughter just turned 30, and thinking back over the past 30 years and looking at 30-year-olds today and where they're going, the opportunities you all have. The world is a lot different than it was back in 1998 when I came into independent schools almost 30 years ago. So I built the room where we're going to have conversations. It's called the On-Ramp. It's a free community for Black professionals in private schools. There's going to be a link in the description, and it'll be pinned in the comments. Pinned in the comments. I'm learning so much about technology, and I've been posting a lot more on LinkedIn because I find that that's where more educators are. I also have a Facebook page and Instagram and TikTok and all those things. So if you see me out in the streets, in the social media streets, please give a wave, say hey, and then come find your place in the community. The On-Ramp, the official our official launch of our own lane will start in August. But between now and August, I'm looking for 24 folks who will join the accelerated part of the community, and then 6 who will join the pace setters, which is a more intimate, private, one-on-one mentoring space. Right now, just the On-Ramp. Come in, let's have some fun. All right, bye.